Hi guys, welcome back. Well, when I first got the Smart and Brown lathe, it was set up with a capstan tailstock. It didn't have the conventional tailstock on the cross slide. It's been used in production work, and it was only a week or so afterwards that I came across the traditional tailstock and cross slide on eBay. I had to travel up to Leeds to pick them up, but that was no great deal. Anyway, once I got them back and fitted them on, it was only when I came to do some centre drilling in a piece of work that I realised that the tailstock wasn't aligning with the headstock, and these tailstocks are not adjustable. They're just cast in one piece, clamped onto the ways, and there's no way of adjusting them. So after a bit of scratching my head, I realised that the quill must have been machined when the tailstock was actually on the ways, by putting a centre drill in and then bringing the quill out to suit the centre line of the lathe. Now, originally these quills were drilled with a number 1 Morse taper. So the only solution I could come up with was to enlarge the quill to take a number 2 Morse. So what I ended up doing was, I've got a number 2 Morse finishing taper in there, fitted that onto one of my parallel adapters, so we then converted the Morse onto a parallel shank, then fitted that into one of my collet chocks, and then brought the tailstock quill in and drilled it out that way. So that then has given me an alignment with the quill that's in the centre line of the lathe. And now what I have to do, if I want to use a number 1 Morse taper drill, I just put a number 2 adapter in. That fits in nicely. I've lost some of the meat from the walls of the quill itself, but it's been working okay. So that was my solution to that problem. But I would like to get it back to a number 1 Morse in the quill. So I've been looking around the shop and come up with a piece of scrap bar that I've had lying around. I've cut it down to size, and I'm going to machine this in my Holbrook C10. And going to machine it, going to turn it down between centres. I've machined one end down to accept this drive dog. Now, before I do this, I was watching one of Phil Whitley's videos the other night, trying to align his tailstock on his Colchester, and it got me thinking. Since I've installed that lathe, I have tried to align the tailstock up, but I've never actually leveled the lathe up, and even though it's an extremely rigid machine, possibly because the lathe hasn't been levelled up, it's not cutting as true as it could do. So before I attempt to turn this down, I'm going to have a go at levelling the lathe up. Well, this is going to be my idea for the levelling feet. I've been had a good look at the base on the Holbrook. I'm going to need some pieces of plate about 8 inches square. Now, unfortunately, looking around, I haven't got any of those, so I've had a word with a good friend of mine, and those pieces of plate are on the way. So my idea was that I get a piece 8 inches square that will sit on the tile floor, and then get another piece 8 inches square with this 20mm, and put drill and tap them for these. I think these are 16mm bolts. If I get 4 of these, one on either corner, a centre hole to locate the feet themselves, that then will give me 30-40mm of adjustment in the heights, and get one of those on all 4 corners. That should enable me then to get the lathe absolutely spot on. So until my friend brings the plate round, I'm afraid that job's come to a stop at the moment. What I thought I'd do, guys, while I'm at it, I've been experimenting with some shear tools on the shaper, and up to now I've just been using HSS tools. This is one that I've been using, and these have been given a nice finish, but they do tend to dull down pretty quickly. So looking around, this is a carbide tip tool. There's a nice big chunk of carbide been brazed onto the end of it, and I've never used this. It's been in the wires, and there's chunks missing off this side. Slightly too wide to go into the clapper box, but not by much. I can soon machine that down. But with it having a nice big chunk of carbide, I thought I would try and grind that into a shear tool. Keep this edge as a cutting face, and the bits that have been damaged, grind that back down, 45 degrees or so, and see how that would stand up on the shaper with using it as a shear tool. So I'm going to put that in my horizontal mill, grind this side down, reduce the width of the shank, and I'll give that a try. Well, that's the angle that I cut on the carbide, and that's the finish it produced. It's about as good as you're going to get on a piece of mild steel. Well guys, hopefully later this week my steel plate will arrive and we'll crack on with those feet for the Holbrook. Try and level it up and make a start on making a new quill for the Smart and Brown. So until then, thanks for watching.